say 1 out of 5. Some good people in here.
Mm-hmm. I forget what they said that was, but I know 2 people watching is
you and me.
Yeah. Can we play some music in the background so when people come in, we're not coming into a drive room? Give us a stroll playlist.
Now look, don't, because I think somebody had made. No, I got Izzy's playlist in the.
Is it clean? Well, Izzy's music is typically clean.
Nah, it's Apple Music.
I mean, where else?
We are adults. It's the Homecoming when they be making them. When Mike might be making it for the Homecoming playlist.
Oh, okay.
Shake that monkey.
That's an interesting way to start.
Let's get it.
Give me a wipe. Give us a wipe me down. It's a very interesting way to start. There has to be a clean version of that.
Do they have to? None of these songs are clean. What about this? This isn't. This is it.
Yeah, we could do that. We could do.
And then Joanna. And we can go Brown Skin Girl and Yang.
Yeah, we could do that.
We could do that. But they need deep south. They need a CC stuff. We close to CC.
Money follow you, banana follow you, brother follow you, 'cause I'm in love with you. Money follow you, banana follow you,
You have to reach the eyes all over.
'cause I'm in love with you. Are you done talking? Tell me, baby, are you done talking? Yeah. Are you done talking? Tell me, baby, are you done talking? Yeah. Are you done talking? Tell me, baby, are you done talking? Yeah. Are you done talking? Tell me, baby, are you done talking? Yeah. I don't wanna be a player no more. Yeah, I don't wanna be a player no more. Come back from me, Cristiano, Mr. Ronaldo.
Hello, welcome. We got some people in here. Hello, y'all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you can hear me okay, just let me know if you can hear me okay. I want to make sure that we are good.
Money follow you, banana follow you, brother follow you, 'cause I'm in love with you. Money follow you, banana follow you, paparazzi follow you, 'cause I'm in love with you. If I offended you, because sorry, your baby, take out. Sorry, your baby, take out. I'm in love with you. I'm in love with you. Baby, nothing of it to change now. Nothing of it to change now. If I talk, they go say I did talk. Tell me why they use Panadol for our head. I will go talk with my baby, no talk. I want to go now,
Low key, we should say don't rush. Low key.
It's gonna be on repeat.
We should do like a little icebreaker where we pop in with like a whole nother outfit. Like we were like, hello, welcome everyone, welcome. We see everybody coming on in.
Y'all know this is the song in the beginning of the summer. Or the quarantine. I can't even say the summer.
Yes. This is giving y'all quarantine vibes.
Yeah, setting the stage. I know some of y'all did some don't rush challenges too. Because we did one. So I know y'all did so. Hello.
Hey, good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good manners. Come in the room, say hello.
Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon.
March.
Hey, KC.
Hey, Casey.
Yes, it is
It's
going smooth.
It's going for me. I had to work today, so.
And I was driving. For most of my day.
Everyone.
We're gonna get started in probably about another couple minutes just to give some other people to be able to join in.
Right. Don't rush. You're ready to be lit? Cause we lit. So I'm gonna need some energy. I'm gonna need y'all have y'all Twitter fingers, y'all text fingers, and get it popping.
Facts.
We not a boring session.
Hello, come on in. Pop, 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 pop. Yeah, I don't think you can see. I think that's everybody that's at the conference. Yeah. Oops. Hey. Hey,
come on, Casey.
Come on, Casey. What's up? Do I need to give you a little don't rush real quick? It ain't work. It ain't working for me.
If only we could have really did that and we popped in. That would have been some magic.
Yes, indeed.
We ain't have that together. That's some super visuals right there.
Super visuals.
Well, it's 3:35. You want to go ahead and get started?
Bust a stroll. Oh, Casey about to bust a stroll?
Look, I'm got my pinky up. I don't know what you are. You got to tell me what you are. But look, we Greek affiliated. We can see that definitely inside our presentation.
Yes, indeed. That's funny. All right. Well, I guess you want to get started? Okay.
Yeah, okay. Hey, sis.
All right. So good afternoon. We're going to go ahead and get started. It's 3:35 Eastern Standard Time because we are in Norfolk, Virginia.
East Coast.
So good afternoon. We are so excited that you all chose to join this session with us, the Don't Rush Challenge, effectively using your platform to create a legacy. I am, the livest poodle. Okay, Indie Love. I am Dr. Darryl Hylton Jr., and I am so excited to be one of the co-facilitators today.
And I'm Jadia Artis. I'm his co-facilitator, and I'm excited to be here as well.
Yes, absolutely. So we're going to go ahead and jump in. First and foremost, everybody that's just kind of watching right now, we just want you to type in the chat. What's one word? How are you feeling so far? How are you feeling about the leadership conference? Just check in with us about kind of just how you're feeling, what's going on, so we can check the polls. Okay, blessed, amen.
And highly favored.
Yes, absolutely. Everything is going good. Okay. Absorbing.
Okay, you better be a sponge.
Yes, humble, blessed. Okay, wonderful experience. Awesome. Well, I hope that we can definitely add or be value added to your experience here today in this virtual space. Motivated, wonderful. I hope that we can definitely be of added value to this space and continue the feelings that you all have shared with us thus far. So I'll go ahead and introduce myself a little bit further, give you a little bit of my background. So again, I am Dr. Darryl Hylton Jr. I am a two-time HBCU graduate. I completed my undergraduate degree at Norfolk State University in elementary education with a concentration in mathematics. Once I graduated, I went back to my home state of Maryland to teach fifth grade math and science. My fifth graders are actually seniors in high school now, so that's really, really exciting. And then once I finished my year of service, I went down to earn my master's degree at North Carolina A&T State University in Greensboro, North Carolina. In addition to that, I also was the creator of the Spartan Shuffle line dance. So many of you all may have seen the Spartan Shuffle across different social media platforms that's done to Before I Let Go by Frankie Beverly and Maze or Beyonce if you are a newer listener. But I was one of the creators. I created that back when I was a sophomore in college. And so that's something that has just kind of like taken off. And it didn't start off as that way, but it ended up being a very viral dance across different HBCU platforms.
It is. They do it at NASAP and Kings and Queens.
Yeah.
You know, people we share. Nothing is like ours. We don't mind sharing. As long as you get credit when credit is due.
Absolutely. So I also served as the 10th Miss Norfolk State University in 2012 for the 2012-2013 academic year. In 2015, I also was Mr. Black Greensboro, represented the city of Greensboro, North Carolina, and competed in the Mr. Black North Carolina pageant that same year. Recently was awarded the HBCU Buzz, the top 30 under 30. So you all can check me out on HBCU Buzz page. I'm number 27 on that list. And I also own a nonprofit. I co-founded and own a nonprofit, which is Operation Grad Incorporated, which is a nonprofit organization that helps colleges and universities increase the persistence and graduation rates of African-American males through mentoring. And so I'll talk a little bit more about that throughout the presentation. And then, of course, last but not least, I'm a lifetime member of the greatest fraternity known to man, the only fraternity that is relevant to discuss and to talk about, especially in this space. Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, K Psi Phi Nu Pi. So yo to any other noobs that's represented in here today. And of course, when I was Mr. Norfolk State University, because we're talking about creating a platform that leaves a legacy, my platform was Young Men in Education, which really focused on highlighting and celebrating Black excellence, more specifically Black male excellence.
See, I should have went after you because I'm a recent grad and I don't have the tenure that Dr. Darryl Hylton has. But my name is Jadia Artis. I graduated from Norfolk State University in 2018 with a bachelor's degree in biology and a minor in chemistry. I was the 45th Miss Norfolk State University. I also, at my time in Norfolk State, I served as Miss Black and Gold for the Epsilon Pi chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, in which I competed at the VAGA Pi pageant, which is the statewide Virginia Miss Black and Gold pageant. I was president of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated for my undergraduate chapter, Delta Epsilon, and I'm currently active in my graduate chapter, Upsilon Omicron Omega, and I helped co-found my nonprofit, the Smile Artist. My whole aspiration is to become a pediatric dentist. So even though I'm not yet a doctor, I felt like I could get into the public health community, not from a health sector, but making sure that I had given homeless people and underserved individuals the education about their oral hygiene and also toothbrushes, floss, toothpaste, and everything, because they may not be able to afford those resources. And then my platform as Miss Norfolk State was Grow, Glow, Graduate, and it was geared towards school spirit, getting and serving your local and campus community, and making sure I improve graduation and retention rates among Norfolk State students.
Awesome, awesome. All right, so today, when we look at the session outcomes, so these are some of the things that we are going to be getting at as a part of our conversation today, which is number one, implementing an effective plan to maximize your opportunities through your platform throughout the school year. Number two, utilizing your platform to create a campus legacy. And then last but not least, learn how your platform can serve as the foundation for your career path after graduation.
So some things that we want to know from you, and you all can take the time to read this slide and type these in. We have an understanding that you all are obviously student leaders, whether it be SGA, Royal Corps, or any other leadership opportunities on campus, because I was, like I said, president of my sorority, so I was still a student leader outside of SGA and student activities and everything. So take the time to give us your name, your institution, your title position that you are a student leader on campus, and then what your platform is, if applicable.
Yeah, so we want to know who is out here, what HBCUs are represented.
What platforms do you have? I want to hear some creative stuff.
Yeah, so tell us who you are. Who's represented today? We'll give y'all some time.
Right, because we know it's some time to type. But as you type, we'll just go ahead and just talk and everything. So obviously you can see that not only did we leave create platforms at our school when we're in those positions, but we went on to find nonprofits to help the community outside of just our campus community. And that's a little bit the essence of what this presentation is about today, is what are you going to do after?
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do to connect? Because the work never stops as a student leader and as a leader in general.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these tools that you're learning in this conference and tools you'll learn throughout this year are tools that will allow you to be successful for a whole lifetime. So really just keen in and be absorbent, like somebody said, and be a sponge for everything, because it really does make a difference later.
Awesome. Yes, absolutely. So we see Tanya McNeil from TSU.
Okay.
Serving as freshman class treasurer. Congratulations. And shout out to you for
count that money, honey.
Yes.
Coming right in the gate.
Coming right in the gate and virtual
Ready
learning
to lead.
and all of that. That's awesome.
I love it.
Mark Davis hailing from Tennessee State.
HBCUs love an adjective, hailing, illustrious. We love it though, because I'm extra, so I love it.
Yes.
Okay, you are
president of a Lermont troop. Last academic year, served as Mrs. Sophomore. Okay. And ran on the platform Never Losing Sight.
I like that.
Awesome.
I like that.
Awesome. Anyone else would like to share?
They still typing,
they still typing.
They got a lengthy platform. They trying to get all their stuff together.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Okay, Torrance, TSU, serving as independent fraternal council president.
Okay.
Phi Mu Alpha, A to Xi, VP.
I love a Phi Mu Alpha.
Okay. Shout out to the Fab Four. Student Tennessee Education Association, VP. Okay, I was at SVEA, the Student Virginia Education Association undergrad. So shout out to the education majors. Okay, Mario. He's hailing from. I love the hail.
I love
hailing from.
I'll say reigning from.
Yes.
Reigning from the vivacious city of Virginia Beach, Virginia was always my thing.
Yes.
Because we got to add our additives so you stand out.
Yes. Because I always say the gorgeous Prince George's County, Maryland.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Gotta be from the gorgeous Prince George's. A little acronym. Any other student leaders?
Don't be shy, y'all. We want to know. I wish I could see y'all. I'm such a people person.
Right.
I feel so a disconnect. I guess we'll let Mario finish his. I don't want him to feel incomplete.
Yes. Because it says he's just Mario and he's just hailing from.
He hailing.
He's hailing. Where are you coming from, Mario?
That sounds like the radio. Caller number 9. Okay, Destiny. Junior Public Relations major at Tennessee State. Hailing from Detroit, Michigan. That's the Motor City.
Said the Motor City.
I was going to say Detroit, Michigan and go back and say the Motor City. And it's also the Motown City, too. Yes. President of the local Biz Council and chaplain of the First Ladies Club. Okay,
awesome,
chaplain.
Awesome.
Mario said 1 second. Okay, Mario, you can have all the time you need. And then I hope I'm saying this right, Kellen. She's Miss Sophomore. Okay. Aiming for target, which means transformative action resulting in greatness and excellence. Okay, yes. Acronym.
Okay.
That's cute.
Awesome. Well, we're going to continue moving on, but definitely feel free to still, because we can see the chat as well. I guess we can put it up on this one too. So that way, if I flip,
we can still see.
Yeah, so definitely continue to introduce yourself. Mario, we still waiting on you. We'll get you in a second, but definitely feel free to pop that in, because we would love to see more of what you all do to impact your campuses.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the first aspect that we're going to talk about is planning with your platform. So making your platform make sense. So a lot of times, individuals across different campuses will run on a platform and they try to find what's most catchy, what's most innovative, what's going to be the ringer to really get students to vote for them to win that campaign. However, they don't necessarily look at the planning aspect. Once you win with this fancy title and this fancy platform, what do you do with that? And so we wanted to take a little bit of time to just kind of talk about what did that planning phase look like for us, and how do you make sure that you aren't just running with a fancy title and getting a fancy leadership position and you can't do anything with it because you don't know what that means beyond your election.
You don't stand firmly on your platform. HBCU, I stand firmly. You don't stand firm. You stand a little wobbly.
Absolutely. So first and foremost, we want people to think about what are the institutional values. So when you're thinking about your platform, right, even though a lot of you are already in your positions, or you may have run and recently won for your positions, but as you think about what planning looks like for this year, or if you choose to do different leadership positions moving in the future, what are the values of the institutions? What are some of the things that your school is passionate about that you will be serving? Because you don't want to have a platform that serves an independent purpose and is completely rogue from what your institution is actually striving to do based off the strategic plan, based off of, you know, any goals or things that the institution has in place.
Okay.
The second thing is looking at what is your ultimate accomplishment. What is it that you want to do if you were to get this position, or now that you have this position? What is it that you're ultimately trying to do and to give to the students as you are serving them? And last but not least, is it aligned with those that you will be with? Excuse me, that's a typo, that you will be with and that you will be serving. Okay, so how does your platform align with others? So this is specific to, let's say, a royal court position.
Right.
We see some Miss Freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors, Misters as well. And then you have, of course, your Mr. TSU or your Mr. Norfolk State, Miss Norfolk State. How does your platform as a class king or queen funnel into the overall picture of what your Mr. and Miss is trying to accomplish throughout their reign, throughout their platform? Many times from our experiences, we see that individuals run on platforms, they get these titles, but because it's not aligned with what the others are doing, they do nothing with them. And then they truly become a face. And those who have served or are currently serving in royal court, yes, we are a face of our campus, but we also do a lot of work.
Business,
and it's a lot of business that comes with being on the royal court. So I don't know, Jadia, if you had anything that you wanted to add to those points specifically.
And definitely I would say, because this is a new thing, a lot of people don't align themselves with, you know, interwebbing platforms. But if this is interest to you and you are on royal court, or maybe not even just platforms, we can take a step away from that. That's mainly what our presentation is about. But if you are a student leader in an organization, you know, talking to your e-board and being communicative of what is your goals for that year, and how can the treasurer assist with what the vice president wants to do, with what the secretary wants to do, with the publicity chair wants to do, instead of just you meet for a meeting and you guys just discuss some kind of event you want to have next week. Like, what are your big term goals? And that, even though it's not really a platform, as a student leader, e-board member, royal court member, SGA member, whatever, you have to have some kind of goals for that year. So just making sure that you're interwebbing between your team of leaders, your fellow student leaders, because no leader can do it on their own.
Absolutely.
Or they can, it just won't be fun.
And it may not even be effective.
Nope.
So, okay, I see Mario finally popped in here, serving as Mr. Junior, as well as the treasurer for the Collegiate 100 at TSU. Okay, and he run a platform, Mario Kart. I like that.
That's cute. That is really cute.
I see what you did
creativity.
there. I see what you did there. Zion from Tennessee State currently serves as the president of the Alpha Beta chapter of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. Okay. And Keyshawn, senior music ed from Memphis, serving as 2020-2021 president of the HSI chapter of Phi Alpha Symphonia for Music Fraternity of America Incorporated.
Okay, I love Phi.
Okay, awesome. And Alana is here, member of the illustrious Alpha Beta chapter of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated.
Okay, so do the SG Rose run TSU?
Andy Love is running TSU. Andy Love is running TSU.
I ain't mad. Real recognize real. Y'all better run things.
Awesome. So the second point is creating a campus legacy. So what do you want to be remembered for? So yes, you may be president, you may be Mr. or Miss. You may have significant titles across campus, treasurer, secretary, whatever. But what do you want to be remembered for? My current supervisor actually had told me, and he talks about his professional leadership journey. And what he says is when he steps into a leadership role, or when he steps into a leadership position at his job, he wants to leave it better than what he found it in. And that's how he finds out what his legacy is and how he creates his legacy. He wants to leave it better than what he found it. And so I ask you to reflect on what is your campus legacy, or what do you want to be remembered for? So as we talk a little bit about what our campus legacy has been at Norfolk State University, I want you to reflect and type in the chat box, what do you want your legacy to be? So I see we have people who are president, like for example, Mario with being in the Collegiate 100. What do you want your legacy to be in Collegiate 100? Those who are in, the Alpha Beta chapter of Sigma Gamma Rho, what do you want your legacy to be when you no longer are serving in your leadership roles? Those who on Royal Court. So just kind of chat in the text box. Phelan or Fallon, might be Fallon, currently serving as the COF president over the Honor Society Council, Mr. Alpha Kappa Psi of the Chi Psi chapter, as well as drum major of the Aristocrat Bands. Okay, awesome, right? So, Phelan, okay, thank you. I appreciate that. So, just Jadia, you want to start off and talk about your campus legacy?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously you have, those pictures up there with myself and Darryl, and some of them are with us together, obviously. But one of my main things is I want to be a pediatric dentist. So serving the youth was very important to me. So this was an event from the Read Across America Day. And I was very active with a lot of elementary school age students, because Norfolk, I don't know if you guys are familiar, but it's an urban area. And obviously, like a lot of HBCUs are around urban areas. So a lot of the children in the local communities aren't used to seeing Black professionals. They're definitely not used to seeing a Black queen. Obviously Deshauna Barber and, people winning recently. But up until that point, people winning Miss USA, they were Black. They had no representation of seeing a Black girl can be a queen. So I would make sure that I would go in and read to them. And I would even let them try on the crown. And even my boys, they would love to try on the crown too. And even though it's a boy, they feel royal with the crown. They don't associate it with it's a girl crown or it's a boy crown. And it's just uplifting our Black youth and letting them know that they can do anything that they want. Because my mom made it a mission for me to be around Black professionals. My dentist is Black. And that was a big impact on why I want to be a dentist, because I never thought that a Black woman couldn't be a dentist, because I have one. And so when you expose them young, they attack the world with the unstoppable mindset versus thinking I can't do this. Also in the middle, it was very heightened. That was around the time when Colin Kaepernick had taken a knee and they took him out the NFL when I was Miss Norfolk State. So I made a political standpoint, because not only as Miss Norfolk State do I have the face, but I have a platform, I have a voice. So I made sure that my reign and my court was very abreast with what was going on in our community. Because see, when you go to an HBCU, you're in a small bubble. You're around all Black people. And even though there are different, diasporas of Black people, and, we have the Caribbeans and we have African Americans, we have Africans from Africa, we have Black Americans, we have the anime lovers, and we have the athletes, and we have the Megan Thee Stallion and mulatto lovers, and we have the classical music lovers. Black people are just so diverse, but you're putting us all together. But at the end of the day, we can all relate because we are Black. Mm-hmm. However, outside of this world, it's not, outside of your little HBCU world, obviously you all might know, it's not as cohesive as we see in our tenure, our universities. Mm-hmm. So I made sure to take a pledge, and I had my king's meal. Obviously, I weren't going to have my ladies, my queens, and myself kneel in dresses, but we put our fists up, because that was what was done, in the 60s at the Olympics. They, had a political standpoint as athletes, and they put their fists up. But I had my king's kneel, and they held us and everything. So that was very important to me, to make sure people knew that it wasn't just I'm the face of the university, I'm a smile and a wave. No, I'm gonna let you know I have a mind. I'm obviously in college for a reason, and I'm very educated about what's going on in our political climate. So I want to take the time to educate my royal court, who may not be, because some of them are freshmen, straight out of high school. They're not thinking about that, and they may very well have, but some of them weren't. And so taking that stance, and they showed it to their families. I ended up being featured on the news. Now I won't say that Norfolk State was so happy with me, because this is during a game. This is during the Star Spangled Banner, and I'm telling my real quick, after we doing our walk around, we taking a knee. But, I think that it left a big impact, and it was reposted by multiple HBCU sites, because I think that they were like, okay, Royal Court has something to say. They're not just here taking a picture for a photo op, smiling and waving as they walk. They're literally not in the trenches. Obviously, we weren't at protest, but we're taking a political stance on something that's very serious.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And so for me, because I was in Reign, I think, year 2017. So I was there 5 years before.
Yeah. We weren't in school together.
Before you were in Reign. And for me, it was about how can I build and rebrand the Royal Court for Norfolk State University and what that means for me. So a little bit about even how I got to this role. The semester before, which would have been the spring 2012 semester, I actually ran for SGA president. And it was a very, very competitive race. We had 5 different slates on the ballot. And I actually came in second place. I did not win. And the campus was very upset that I didn't win. And I'm like, well, y'all should have voted. But, but the reason why they were upset is because I was the student leader of the people. I was not a student leader that was there for the title just to have the fame and the clout as one of our fellow presenters did in an earlier session. It wasn't about the clout for me. It was truly those who looked up to me as somebody who was able to utilize my voice to help push through the agendas and speak on behalf of those who felt that they did not have one. And I was truly that student leader for the people, for my campus. And so the semester after, which would be fall 2012, when the Mr. and Miss NSU pageant came about, I didn't know anything about running for a student leadership position, especially not as a freshman to sophomore. Like for me, my confidence was really low. I definitely was insecure about who I was as an individual. And I said, I would never put myself on a platform to be voted on in that capacity. So shout out to those who are like Mr. Miss Freshman, like y'all are super dope for having the courage to run for that so early on. And I originally wasn't going to run for Mr. NSU because my friends I overheard them saying that they were going to run. And I said, well, I need to not run against them. I don't want to run against them because it was their passion. I want to be a state president, whatever. But when I found out that they were no longer running, I said, well, I'm going to do it. Why not? And I ended up getting even more support than I did from the previous semester because of the whole SGA thing. But once I got into my reign, for me, it was about how can I take Norfolk State University to the next level? How can I make sure that we are engaged and connected to the other kings and queens, to the other campuses across the HBCU network? So I did my best to create a Royal Court handbook. I reached out to some of the other campus kings, which I'm still connected to today. Mr. Bethune-Cookman, which is Joshua Williams. He's at Kentucky State. I reached out to Mr. Lincoln University, Mr. Virginia State, Mr. UMBS. I don't think I was connected to Mr. Tennessee State at the time, but Mr. Kentucky State as well. And they were just able to help me, bring together what Norfolk State has been missing. And so a lot of my reign, even down to the point where our class kings and queens, Mr. Freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, didn't even wear sashes or have crowns or anything of that nature. My Royal Court worked to get our class kings and queens sashes because we said, hey, if they're going to be on the Royal Court, we need to make sure that they are represented as well. And although my Royal Court did not get to benefit from the things that we were fighting for, it was because of the hard work and because of the advocacy that Royal Courts like Jadia's were able to benefit from that and be able to look as good as they did, as you see in the picture when they were taking the knee at the football stadium. Even going to NASAP, Norfolk State University did not go to NASAP prior to my reign, right? So we advocated to go to NASAP. We didn't get to go, but the reign and the Royal Court and the SGA after us was the first class to go. So if anybody that may go to school with that may be a little bit older, you can ask them. Norfolk State did not go to NASAP at all until we advocated for them to go. So my legacy really was more so, how can I set us up for the future to be successful? And so I want to be able to even empower you all to know that the work that you're doing, you may not see that benefit right then and there. You may not see that the outcome in the immediate, but that doesn't mean the outcome isn't coming. That doesn't mean that you're not being effective, being efficient, and being impactful. And then last but not least, of course, one of the biggest events that I ever had as Mr. Norfolk State was the NSU Man Can Awards. And that was a night where we celebrated the African-American males across African-American males, faculty, staff, just across the board. It was a night to really honor them. It all stemmed because around that time in I guess this is 2013, but just during that year, the whole Black Girls Rock movement was really big. Oh. And so I said, well, we are celebrating our African-American women for all of their accomplishments, but what about our Black males? And so utilizing my platform, I was able to create a similar event on our campus. And you'll see in the bottom middle picture some of the individuals, as well as me in the middle with the cardigan on, where we honored organizations, individuals from a variety of different areas, from academics to athletics to community service to everything. I mean, we had performers, they were all Black males. We had hosts and MCs, all Black males. We had our live band, all Black males, which actually was the Romeo chapter of Phi Mu Alpha Symphony of Fraternity of America. So it was just all about celebrating the Black male. We had our president there, we had our VPs, we had Miss Alumni, and over 200 students, guests, alumni, and family members were present. And that was a very, very impactful event that people speak about today. So that's pretty much what my legacy is. Definitely, hey, Chris, how's it going? Tennessee State, and currently University Ambassador, awesome. Section leader in Aristocratic Bands, member of A to I, Phi Mu Alpha. Okay, wonderful.
Yeah, indeed.
So again, as we were typing, just definitely type in, for those who have the student leadership positions, what do you want your legacy to be, right? So even if you can't see the outcome in this moment, what do you want your legacy to be once you finish your time in your role?
And while you guys are typing, I'll speak a little bit about something that I forgot. But also, so Norfolk State, it's a medium HBCU. We were voted #1 band, in the land. I will say that.
Spartan Legion.
Spartan Legion. We got a Grammy, check us out.
Well, shout out to Aristocratic Bands too. Y'all cool
y'all
too.
Here deep.
Y'all cool.
And
yeah.
I love TSU. But I will say I'm really close. Behold. I'm really close with the Miss TSU for my year. So some of you are seniors. Don't do too much. Okay, don't. Okay, we're gonna back out. But so some of you are seniors, so you guys probably remember Kayla. So she was Miss TSU for my year. We went to the HBCU, the Black Collegiate competition. And we had a great time together, and we still talk today. I'm trying to move to the Nashville area, and I'm very much in communication still with her. So when we were talking about making sure you create an impact, also make sure you make impressionable relationships with people, because you never know who you're going to need later. And I would have never thought, running for Miss Norfolk State, that I was going to be connected with somebody that I want to eventually be in the same city with when I go to a certain school, because I want to go to Meharry. But I will say Norfolk State, since it is a medium-sized school, we weren't always at conferences present due to leadership and everything. That goes back to your leadership that's over the students and everything. And then also, when I was in school, my freshman, my sophomore, my junior year, I didn't really notice Norfolk State on HBCU pages. And I'm a very social person. I use social media. Okay, I'm on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all that. So as my reign, even down at the Miss HBCU competition, I don't know if any of y'all know Kayla, but I was known as the Boomerang Queen, because I was right when Boomerang came out. And everything, I'm like, Boomerang. They're like, how do you do a boomerang? And I'm like, you just do it. You just do it. You just boomy, Now boomies are active. So, people don't have to worry about how do you do a boomerang. But, that was very important for me. So the picture that you see in the middle, that was featured on HBCU platforms. When I actually won my reign, it was that picture. I don't think I included in the presentation. I thought about it, but no, I didn't include it. But that picture was on Watch the Yard, HBCU Buzz, HBCU Pride Nation, to the point that I had Travis from HBCU Pride Nation and Delvec, and I think he's affiliated with Tennessee State. Delvec Brown? I'm almost certain. I can't remember everybody's. You get a lot. You meet a lot of people.
Cousins.
But yeah. But basically, Delvec, he was very implemental.
He was the CSU's 15.
Yeah, I was I'm almost certain. I try to remember a little bit about people. But yeah, so I got in contact with these people to the point that I could text them and be like, hey, I'm doing this, and then they would post it. I remember on Christmas, he just really I have a great personality. He really banged with me. I'm trying to be clean. He really banged with me. He was homies. The same thing with Travis from HBCU Pride Nation. And so I made sure that I was cool with them to the point that they just started posting me without me even knowing it. They just follow me. They see I posted something, they just repost it. Mm-hmm. And that was very important, because before then, the other queens, the other royal courts, the other reigns, I never saw Norfolk State posted, and now it's posted a lot more. Mm-hmm. And so that's one of my campus legacies. I wanted to see Norfolk State so that students in Tennessee or students in California that were pursuing at HBCU knew there was more than just the big four the 4 that everybody gives money to, you know.
Right. Which we love.
We
love
do. We love
brothers and
everybody.
sisters,
but you just make sure that you're bringing awareness, because there's over like about 100 HBCUs, but it's a couple that get, you know, attention. And even like you all, Tennessee State, you know, Oprah is a reputable alumni.
Yes.
My international, you know, sorority president is you guys' university president.
Oh, yes,
so
sure is.
There are a lot of great things coming out of TSU. And, you know, I'm sure when Oprah went to TSU, or even my soror Glenda, when she went, Dr. Glover, I'm sure that they didn't know, because she's an alumni too. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay. I think that's pretty cool. But when she went, you know, I'm sure she didn't think about what legacy she was going to, you know, live in her adulthood. And you can see, and I'm sure that you all have heard her speak maybe about her days. You know, I'm certain as when she was walking around campus, she didn't know what she was going to become. But she obviously did something right on campus in order to make sure she got to that position that she's at today. And she's very successful. And obviously Oprah is very successful. And I'm not going to sit here and roll call all y'all reputable alumni, but you know.
Because they know them. TSU
I'm sure y'all know them.
They know they suck.
But you know, what legacy do you want to leave? What legacy, are you going to be a reputable alumni? Are you going to be somebody that's coming back, speaking, somebody that's even Del Beck, you know, he's you know, helped co-found HBCU Buzz. That's a very big platform for HBCUs. What legacy do you want to leave on campus, and what do you want to do in your professional life so that you're remembered by your institution?
Absolutely. That's awesome. See, this is why she's not going to facilitate there. She's going to do, but if you go, you have to visit TSU if you go to Meharry.
Oh, I'm going to be at homecoming. So y'all remember this face.
Yes.
Because when I go to Meharry.
And then if you go to Nashville, because I've been to Nashville one time, you got to hit up Knockout Wings.
Okay.
KO Wings is
I love to
popping.
eat.
Helen's Hot Chicken, Georgetown Cupcakes. Y'all, like, everybody about to pop in, like, yes, I know them. But Knockout Wings, get them biscuits. Look, Knockout is closed. Shut your mouth, Vicky. I cannot.
And
Stop
they give
playing.
us sad faces and stuff.
Are you serious? Knockout was closed? That's wild.
Corona done closed everything. I don't even know if Corona is the reason. Okay.
Yeah, Helen's Hot Chicken was okay. They Helen's Hot Chicken don't have. It's fine.
You said it's okay, but they said it's fine.
It's not Knockout though.
They closed before it. Rocky Wings 5 too.
Yes, and the cupcake. I think it's Georgetown Cupcake. So you gotta hit them.
Don't they got that NPC?
Not Georgetown Cupcake. What's the cupcake place out there that's over there? I think it is Georgetown. I don't know.
Oh, maybe that too.
What they serve is they have a sweet potato cupcake. That's really good. Yeah. And so number 3, using your platform post graduation. So capitalizing on your leadership development. Go Wings, the best wings in Nashville. Go Wings. Smack.
I'm gonna go there because they said
I never saw that, but they also have like this pizza place too. That's out there. I forget, but it's not too far from Jefferson Street. And the Kool-Aid. I'm so weak. Now everybody Slim and Husky. That's it. Yep, Slim and Huskies. Yep. See, I'm hip, y'all. I've been to Nashville once. I'm hip. I'm definitely hip. One of my mentees, he's a FISC alum, so he's in the Master of Divinity at Vanderbilt. So I've been out there to see him. But last but not least, number 3, so utilizing your platform post-graduation, capitalizing on your leadership development. So this specifically is going to be looking at how we were able to utilize our platform. So young men in education, Glow, Grow, Graduate, not just within our reign, but beyond our reign and into our career. So my master's degree, I don't know if I said what my master's was at North Carolina A&T, but I majored in adults and higher education. So I am a higher ed professional. So outside of my work as a CEO for a nonprofit organization, I actually am an academic coach at the University of the District of Columbia in Washington, D.C. And where I work with scholarship students and coaching them and making sure that they stay on track to graduate from college, right? But in addition to that, utilizing my young men and education platform, I was able to co-found a nonprofit, Operation Grad Incorporated. We were founded February 5th, 2020. And since then, we have just been on the up and up. And again, the mission of Operation Grad is to help colleges and universities increase the persistence and graduation rates of African-American males through mentoring. And so as I was navigating throughout my doctoral program, which is in organizational leadership from Gardner-Webb University in Boiling Springs, North Carolina, we were challenged to create a business plan and basically work as a consultant to identify a need and to address that need. And what I found was that there are many organizations or many college campuses that have initiatives on their campus that support Black males. There are many organizations that help students get to college, but not many that help them get through. And so, for example, like I know Tennessee State University has a male initiative as well. And so it's like, but how do we take that and expand it so that we can have a greater impact beyond just what we're doing on those specific campuses? And so that's what my organization is designed to specifically do, is to help colleges and universities fill some of those gaps that they are not able to do, because many campuses have initiatives, but it's interesting because they're not standalone programs, which means there isn't a lot of external funding that comes to it. There isn't a lot of external support that comes with it. It's typically an additional responsibility for the token Black male staff member that has the best relationship with the students across campus. And so they just give them an additional hat to wear. And my organization is really designed to say, hey, we see Black male leadership, Black male support as more than just an additional responsibility for somebody's full-time job. Yeah, it's more than just a checkbox. We want to be able to show universities we are solely dedicated to supporting and helping these individuals to graduate through our mentorship roles. And so that's how this organization came up, because it was my passion intersected with my vision. And now I have this organization. Coming up, and on the last slide, of course, you see the website if you wanted to check us out. But I also have a publication as a part of my organization. It's called The Educated Mentor. And The Educated Mentor is an opportunity for us to highlight Black male excellence and just Black excellence in general. Eventually, it will be focusing on the gentlemen that are within the specific chapters where we are established at the schools. But until then, we are just highlighting Black male excellence from across the nation. And this is the actual, you all are getting a sneak peek. Nobody has seen this yet. So this is actually the cover of the fall 2020 edition of The Educated Mentor. So you all can see kind of like what we do and how we do it. We have a new section that's rolling out, or segment, which is called Amplified. And Amplified is meant to highlight and uplift the Black male voice as it relates to certain topics. So this Amplified segment is focusing on a lot of what's happening in society as it relates to the Black Lives Matter movement and, just the unjust killings of just Black and brown people, et cetera, et cetera. And the students are responding to the question, why does your Black life matter? And we have Black male students from everywhere, Western Illinois, Fisk University, Norfolk State University, Frostburg State University, Southern A&M University responding. I don't have anybody from TSU, that's why I'm throwing a shameless plug in here. But just the opportunity to really acknowledge and celebrate and uplift the Black male voice, to show that we do matter, we do have a voice, we are able to utilize our voice. And again, looking at what is the legacy that I'm leaving. So when I did the NSU Man Can Awards, that was my legacy for on campus, to allow Black men to be celebrated, to allow Black men voices to be heard, to acknowledge them for who they were and their presence here in society. And that's what I'm doing through this platform here with The Educated Mentor, is being able to show Black men that, hey, not just at Norfolk State, but now across the country, we're showing you the things that we are doing, why we are important, the things that we are accomplishing. So definitely, you'll get my contact information at the end. If you want to write articles, we definitely are always receiving articles and collaborators to write specific to specific topics. Michael, you can definitely hit me up. My business card will be at the end for sure. But yeah, so definitely just reach out to me. We want individuals to be a part of it as well, and just collaborating and just contributing, etc. So that's pretty much how I kind of went from my platform, Young Men in Education, all the way now to owning a 501c3 tax-exempt charitable nonprofit organization. And we are looking for campuses to be on. So if TSU wants to be one of those, I'm open to have that conversation as well. But if there are any administrators in the room and you want to have further conversation, we're definitely open to that. We are looking to solidify our first contract this upcoming fall when we begin our Q2. So please definitely let me know if you're interested, and we can connect.
All right, that's great. So moving on to my nonprofit, God put this in my heart. From a young child, I knew I wanted to serve my public health community as a doctor. And around the time that I was a preteen is when I was afforded the opportunity to have braces and get my smile fixed and everything. So because I was afforded that opportunity, I recognized there's a gap between, especially minorities and Black individuals are not afforded that opportunity. And some of them aren't even afforded the opportunity to attend their, semi-annual checkups at the dentist. So I made my nonprofit the Smile Artis, and it's a play on words because my last name is obviously Artis, and smiling is one of my favorite things to do. And obviously, dentists, I believe, are smile artists because they manufacture and create smiles.
Intentionality.
And so, I made this nonprofit. At first, phase one was to serve homeless individuals because I would see them on the street, asking for money. Obviously, like I said, Norfolk is a pretty urban area, so it's not uncommon to see people, asking for money and everything, or standing outside a gas station and everything. And my main concern, I used to always be like, dang, I wonder if they're brushing their teeth, because I worked at a homeless, it's a free clinic for homeless and uninsured individuals. And they basically did services for free for them. And they would come in with very, very unkept mouths. But my thing is, if you're standing in front of a Wawa, you have access to a bathroom and you have a book bag. So, although I may not be able to afford to give them $5, $20, buy them a sandwich, whatever it may be, by me giving a toothbrush is a lot more impactful than, because I can help them keep their teeth. So that when they ask somebody for $5, they're not getting a toothless smile, because sometimes that scares people. And so, your teeth, a lot of the systemic issues you have going on in your body start from your oral cavity in your mouth. I'll give you a little biology lesson, because this is the main pathway into your body. So everything that you put into your mouth sits in your teeth. That causes tooth decay, cavities, need for root canals, crowns, all the above. A lot of individuals, that are homeless, they're trying to figure out where they're going to stay for the night, if they can get a ride to the other side of the city, who going to feed them today. They're not thinking about brushing their teeth. But that's because they're not educated about it. They may have not been educated about it as a child. My mom made sure I went to every 6-month cleaning appointment. Some people couldn't afford that, but they don't understand that tooth decay is completely preventable. So as long as you brush your teeth every day, even if you don't go to the dentist, I'm not saying don't go to the dentist, but I'm saying you can keep a lot of these issues at bay and keep your body healthy, because tooth issues are connected to your organs, your nerves. If a cavity gets so big and it goes to your nerve, you can have nerve damage, you can have organ and failure. Like, it's so big, your mouth. And so just making sure that they're upkeeping it. I'm gonna go to the next slide. Okay. And so that should be coming up shortly. So now you'll see some of my community events, because I do community events in my 757 area, because that was my main thing as well. Everybody wants to send stuff to Puerto Rico or Africa. And I'm not saying that these places don't need help, but my first main concern was making sure I had my backyard together. I'm from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Norfolk is a neighboring city. So I wanted to service the Southampton Roads area. The 757 is our area code. So I wanted to make sure I was being an impact, not just, this worldly thing. I want to be a doctor. I want to just serve, world hunger and the people. No. I want to make sure that homeless man that I ride past every day on a main intersection has a toothbrush. I want to make sure that the students, because you can see this from the side ones, not the middle. The side ones, that was a community day where people always do back to school events. They get in notebooks, pencils, crayons. At the end of the day, and not saying that it's only the teacher's responsibility, if that child doesn't go to school with a notebook, they're going to get a notebook from somewhere. But are they getting a toothbrush? Because if their parent has 6, 7 kids, and I work in a dental office for pediatric patients, a lot of times I had a fam 7 the other day. Toothbrushes aren't that expensive, but they probably only buying them a toothbrush, and they're not even buying them when they come to the dental visit. They probably not buying them a new toothbrush. So they're using the same toothbrush, and you really should change your toothbrush more frequently than that. But if you got 7 kids and you're trying to figure out about school supplies and, school after school events, and your biggest concern, or you might even try to keep the lights on. You might be working 2 jobs. That's what my mom did. You may not be focused on them brushing their teeth every day. Cause I see it all the time. I'm like, she's not brushing her teeth well enough. And because they are preventable, cavities are the #1 disease affecting children. Tooth caries is what the formal term is it for. And my thing was, I was like, this is 100% preventable. And it's affecting Black children at disproportionate rates. And that's because Black parents aren't educated on it, and they're not teaching their children to be educated on it. So that's where I come in. I went to college for a reason. My platform was Grow, Glow, Graduate, and the glow component was spreading my light on my campus community and my will to help others, and in the surrounding communities. So my, postgraduate graduate platform being the Smile Artis, that being my nonprofit now, and it's now a business. I'm starting my teeth whitening and tooth jewel services.
Yes.
So y'all into the scene, but I know y'all be seeing them Instagram teeth whiteners, and don't be going to them, y'all. Please don't, because they be messing y'all teeth up. Go to a professional. But I am a dental professional, and I'm an aspiring dental student. Like I said, I want to end up at Meharry. But in order to make sure that I had these materials, because you can see in the middle, I'm holding up a bag. When I give these Smile Artis bags, because some of these people, even though they have Medicaid, they're not going to the dentist. I would, at these back to school events or community events, I'm out there posted up giving my Smile Artis bags, has my business card. It has a toothbrush. It has a tooth timer that tells you you're supposed to brush your teeth for a minimum of 2 minutes. So I have one of those little hourglass timers. It has floss and flosser picks, because some children don't like the floss strings, they like the floss picks. Obviously a new toothbrush. I would give a dental toy. Like they had a dental cleaning to get them excited. And I had videos, but they weren't trying to transpose. But you would be surprised how excited a child gets about a toothbrush.
Wow.
And it really breaks my heart that something so small that you, the average person, we don't have character toothbrushes. You're just using whatever toothbrush that you got. Mm-hmm. But a child seeing, I got, Princess Tiana on my toothbrush, or I got Black Panther on my toothbrush, gets them excited to brush their teeth. And these are things that last over a lifetime. Mm-hmm. Because if they're excited as a child, when they're older, they're going to make sure that they go to their, teeth cleanings. And they're going to make sure that they keep their teeth, mm-hmm. And if they ever end up in a time where they are on the street and they are homeless, at the end of the day, they're going to know, well, I have access to water, so mm-hmm. I can brush my teeth, I can keep my teeth. Mm-hmm. Because teeth are the only thing in your body that don't really regenerate. Once your tooth decays, it starts to, we have to fix it. Mm-hmm. Bones can help regenerate, blood vessels, all these things, skin, your skin grows back, your hair, your nails, but your teeth, once you mess them up, you have to go get it restored, or you're just going to lose that tooth. Mm-hmm. So that's a little bit about me. In the middle, it was more of a community, a Black, it was a Juneteenth event. Mm-hmm. And that's where I launched my business, the Smile Artis. Well, it was a nonprofit and everything. And I had people, send donations, and I had a raffle. So although, everybody, I don't know what's on their mind for what they want to do, but you see that we both have nonprofits. And, this started in undergrad, not exactly the what God put on our hearts and our minds, because I believe that everybody is a vessel of God. I'm not trying to preach to y'all, but everybody is a vessel of God, and God put you on this earth for a reason. And you have to figure out why God put you here, why God made you, because he didn't just put us here to just walk through life and just work and grow old. He put us here because we all have something unique to the, puzzle of life that God has. And what are you going to do to connect you to God's puzzle? Because other than that, then you're just breathing air. You're not doing anything. So making sure that it took me, I made this in 2019, so it wasn't immediate that I found what I wanted to do to serve. Because it's not easy to make a nonprofit, but it's doable. Mm-hmm. It's not easy to start a business, but it's doable. And, you have to figure out what your passion is. What do you want to do? How do you want to serve? And it really starts, like we said, what platform, what leadership skills are you honing in on in your undergraduate experience? Because what people don't understand is, although you are getting a degree at college, you're also learning lifelong skills. Mm-hmm. And you'll see people, adults even maybe people that you've ran into in your college experience, you're not here maturity-wise. Mm-hmm. But that's because they may not have learned that life lesson yet. We spoke about it earlier. Just because you're Miss Freshman or Mr. Freshman don't mean you can't, learn from somebody older can't learn from you. Right. So just making sure that you really self-reflect and figure out not what do you want to do in your career. I think that if you're in college and you're majoring in something, you kind of have an idea of what you want to do. But what do you want to do outside of your career path? Because this is nonprofits. We don't get money for that. This is something that we're doing in our free time, but we're passionate about it, and it's our legacy. What do you want to be remembered for when you die? What do you want to be on your tombstone? And not to think negatively, but I know that when I die, eventually, and I'm only 24, and I've already started a nonprofit, and people see what I'm doing in the community on my social media, at the end of the day, people are going to be like, dang, Jadia, the smile artist, she was committed to that dental stuff. Like, she means business. She's giving toothbrushes to kids. Like, she's giving toothbrushes to the homeless. Like, not only does she want to be a doctor and make money as a doctor, because we know doctors make money, but she also is literally committed to her public health community and making sure she's serving them. Dang, Darryl, like, I remember him. He was an education major in undergrad. He was Mr. NSU. He may have been a little lit. You know, he had the NSU Man Can Awards, but dang, he went from the Man Can Awards to Operation Grad, and he has a publication to showcase all Black males across the country at universities. Like, that, it starts now. You don't understand the impact that you all have right now, but it really starts right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that really kind of made me think about my quote that I have and that I share with others. And my quote is, when my time on earth is finished, I want my legacy to be one that provided others the space to create their own.
That's good.
And so that's kind of how, especially in the Operation Grad space, that's how I want to live, you know, my life, especially in this Operation Grad space, is the legacy that I'm leaving through Operation Grad, through my...
I see you preaching that.
Oh, amen. Amen, amen. I'll be collecting, we'll be setting up an offering soon. You know, but I want my legacy to be one where I'm allowing others the space to be their own. I want people to be able, especially the Black males, to be your authentic self, to be your transparent self, to be your vulnerable self, to understand that there are individuals that are here to help to support you, to make sure that you have what you need to be successful, whether you're first gen or whether you're not first gen, because I'm blessed to not be a first gen student, but I also know too that as a second generation college student, I still was overlooked, and we still need support as well, because while both of my parents have college degrees, neither one of them actually did the college admissions process. It was technically my grandparents. So when it was time for me to apply and to navigate that process, they didn't know, even though they had college degrees. And I think many a times there's a lot of emphasis put on first gen students, which is awesome. And I'm a huge advocate for first gen, because I love the opportunity that they are getting, and we love and support them as well. But we also can't forget about, you know, others as well, because just because they are not first gen doesn't mean that they'll need support. And so
you don't want to sit between the cracks.
Right. And so I want my organization to really focus on and making sure that everybody has the opportunity to be engaged in some way. And to know that there's a space in Operation Grad for each individual person, regardless of what your background is, because we can all learn and grow together. So at this time, I know we're kind of wrapping up, but if there's any questions in the chat, like, definitely drop some questions in the chat. We'll go to our business cards page, so that way, as you're typing questions, you all can also see our contact information, where you can screenshot.
My Instagram.
Or you can screenshot. I think Jadia's going to put her IG on there. That QR code is an active QR code, so you can scan that. It takes you to all things Operation Grad.
Yes, fancy. I'm not.
But if anyone has any questions for us, feel free to type in as it relates to creating a legacy or anything. Smile Artis, Operation Grad.
This thing does not want me to be great,
Let me see
but
if I can do it on here.
okay, yeah, I'm gonna say that. If you want to stay up to date with me, that's my my Instagram page. If you're interested, if I piqued your interest, if you want to DM me about how to start a nonprofit, because it's definitely not easy, but I will make myself available to you, because people make themselves available for me. And that's one of the main things that I'm big on is, you know, remember where you come from and always remaining humble. I guess that's the quote I'll leave y'all with. You know, never forget where you come from and always remain humble, because for one, God can snatch everything from you. You can be on top and then be on the bottom tomorrow. But also remember where you come from, because somebody helped you. Whether it be with the campaign, somebody extended a hand to help you, and it may not have even been somebody ordering you. It could even been a friend. So making sure that when somebody comes to you, you extend yourself to them, because that's the only way we'll grow. Is if we all just hold hands and we extend ourselves and make ourselves a whole branch, a tree of life, if even, as HBCU students. And that's not even just on your campus. Branch out to other campuses and make sure that you're talking to people that have similar interests in you and similar roles, because, you know, you want to make sure that I mean, look, years down the line, I would have never thought that I would have been looking at Nashville and Meharry, and that I would have remembered Kayla, Miss TSU 2017, 2018, and, you know, Miss Fisk even too, because she's still in the Nashville area. And, you know, just knowing that I have, when I moved down to Nashville, I have support, just regardless. So, yeah.
And we'll also be in the network, and I think we'll try to pop into the networking tab as well. So if anybody wants to meet with us one-on-one or just kind of have some face-to-face time or whatever, we can definitely do that as well. Hopefully we'll get paired together. So we'll try to pop in there as well. But outside of that, thank you all so much for joining us in this space. We definitely appreciate you taking time out to be with us. And we hope that you have a great rest of your day. We wish you all the best for those that are in leadership positions, those that are aspiring for leadership positions. We hope that you do well. And definitely feel free to reach out to us if you need. Okay, so thank you all so much.
Enjoy your day.
Outro music.
Oh, some outro.
Can we get a little wipe me down?
A little wipe me down, a little ratchet. Yeah. We get a little
wipe me down on the exit.
Yeah. I pull up to the club VIP. Let me do the remix because I don't know how y'all do. We do the remix, okay? We don't.
Thank you so much for joining us, Tanya. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanya. Don't give me.
Thank you so much, Casey. We appreciate that.
Yeah. Let me get my achy breaky going because Casey. Somebody told Casey to bust out the stroller.
So can we?
Okay.
That's yesterday.
I wish I could see y'all, but I feel like people live. I would do it.
Thank you so much, Diane. We appreciate that.
We appreciate it. Recognize real. I hope it's doing many figures in here. I'm sorry, y'all. My apologies.
Wipe it down. Alright, so we have. Oh, that's the other one. Okay. I guess we can go ahead and leave, man. Yeah. Join the live.